What is going on, everybody? It's KB. Before the episode starts, make sure you go check out StreamerSZN's brand new theme music. That's right. We have full-time, brand new theme music thanks to the newest homie and newest member of the music side of Underground Sports Philadelphia homies. That is Mobley SheHulk. His new single is out now. It is linked in the description on YouTube, and you'll be hearing it on audio until we can figure out if we can play it on video on StreamerSZN episodes from here on out. That's our new theme music. SheHulk. Go download it now wherever you get your music, and go check out the music video on YouTube. But now, let's get into the episode of StreamerSZN.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Oh, what is going on, fellow streamers? Welcome into another edition of StreamerSZN, the exclusive streaming platform TV and movie podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. It's KB and Dylan coming at you from Underground Studios. Not Dylan's Underground Studios, just Underground Studios. We got our favorite muscle mommy to dive into, episode 4, which may or may not have confirmed a long-running theory on this show that we are paralleled with new rock stars about. And then, of course, we're going to dive into House of the Dragon, episode 3. And I just want to preface this right now. If the picture quality is dropping a little bit, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my Wi-Fi right now. I just got brand new internet like less than a month ago, and I swear, Dylan, I'm blaming the Verizon people. Ever since they came into our neighborhood and dug up our neighborhood, my internet connection has been bouncing back and forth. It's very frustrating, very annoying. So hopefully that gets fixed throughout the stream of Dylan and I recording this episode. So I apologize for the internet and what it's doing right now as I record this at the beginning of the episode. So don't worry, it's not your computers. It's just our. This is why we need the support of our sponsors. But before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at StreamerSZN on Twitter, on Instagram. Follow Dylan on Twitter at Dylan Mazzola. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all of our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. And Dylan, let the people know, what should they be doing on the Apple Podcast reviews?
As always, they should be leaving reviews in the Apple, Spotify, wherever you can leave your reviews, or on YouTube. Let us know. Obviously, say nice things, but also let us know what you want Kyle and I to watch going forward. Right now, we have quite a few shows that are on the docket, but there will be lulls. And we can also have like episode specialty dedicated to a show or a movie that you recommend on any of the streaming services, because we have got them all. So let us know, please. I say this every episode. So
Faux show.
And people do it. So, just saying.
And of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, where you get full video episodes of StreamerSZN and all of your favorite Underground Sports Philadelphia podcasts. And of course, we're on that hashtag Road to 1K Gauntlet Challenge, where Dylan, when we get to 1K, will be cosplaying one of the characters from these shows or movies that we've watched, letting you all choose. And then I will be watching Season 1 of Game of Thrones. And I know a lot of people are excited about that for me. So we'll see if that happens. But we got to get to 1K first. I just texted my parents live.
Then he ends up liking it.
And I told my parents, please turn the Wi-Fi off on your phones, just to test some things. And they said, why is this happening? I said, I have no fucking idea. But yeah, I'll be watching Game of Thrones Season 1. And Top Bins just announced that their leg of the Gauntlet Challenge, Dylan, they will be going back all the way to the year 2006 and watching, breaking down analyzing the ins and outs of the 2006 World Cup game between Germany and Italy.
Dude, that's sick. That's going to be awesome. I think everyone should definitely tune in for that.
100%. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a doozy. So subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can get there. I am currently texting my parents because they are asking me a question. And my brain can't function at two things at once.
Well, that's normal. My brain can't function anyway, normally. So that's, yeah.
There we go. Shout out to our sponsors who make this show happen. Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. Go to tomahawkshades.com. Use code USP at checkout for 25% off your order at tomahawkshades.com. Kenwood Beer. Go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use that all new and improved Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You got to be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. And Bino Board, they are dropping new World Cup-inspired boards every week of the World Cup. The new one drops tomorrow, Dylan, and it is Team France. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And you gotta go get them while they're hot in the streets. You can't miss out. So if you want that Team France board, be on Bino Board's website, I believe tomorrow at noon Eastern time. And you can use code BINOUSP at checkout for 10% off your order at binoboard.com. Dylan, let's get into our favorite muscle mommy, She-Hulk, episode 4. Episode 4 always tends to have, those big old twists, those plot turns, and this episode certainly had that because we're pretty sure, like 98% sure, Marvel just confirmed Mephisto in She-Hulk, which is absolutely bonkos. A little quick rundown of this episode. Is This Not Real Magic is the episode title. So we get Donnie Blaze. It's got to be a pun on Johnny Blaze. Am I right? Like, did you feel the same way when you heard his name was Donnie Blaze? And, we had seen the poster earlier when that trailer had initially come out.
Donnie Vegas.
And we got Donnie Blaze, a magician at Mystic Castle, who was expelled from Camartage for unethical use of his powers, sends an audience member named Madison with a Y or with an S and two N's and not where you think they are. I love Madison's character. To another dimension where she makes a deal with a demon before being transported to Wong's home in Camartage as he's watching The Sopranos. Wong approaches Jennifer Walters and asks for her help in making an example out of Blaze so that people like him will not be able to misuse the mystic arts. So they launch a legal case against him and Mystic Castle's owner, Cornelius P. Willows. Meanwhile, Walters creates a dating app in the hopes of expanding her social life, but has little success until she changes it into a profile for She-Hulk. Blaze accidentally unleashes a swarm of demons at one of his shows, but Wong and Walters are able to deal with the creatures, and Walters threatens Blaze and Willows in complying with her cease and desist order. The next day, Walters learns that Tatiana Maslany is She-Hulk. Titania has been freed and is filing a lawsuit against her, having trademarked the name She-Hulk. Lots to dissect in this episode, though, Dylan. But first things first, what were your initial thoughts on episode 4? Is this not real magic?
I think it follows suit of the trend of every Marvel having a good 4th episode. I think it was the more enjoyable episode so far for myself. I like the fact that you and I can put our tinfoil hats and talk about how the Mephisto hype train and the hats are alive. I think the show is now gearing up to her being more so back in the courtroom. And it was interesting to also see them touch on social media, dating for characters in the show. All in all, I didn't dislike this. I definitely like this one the best, I would say, so far. And I think that's high praise because I have mixed reviews on the show still, but this is the most enjoyable episode for me, and I like Wong in the show.
So we get lots of Wong. He's a big Sopranos fan. He's chilling at the old Comertage watching the Sopranos.
That's why I like Wong, dude. It's goated. Sopranos is a goated TV show.
Speaking of goats, Madison signed away 6 drops of her blood, Dylan. 6 of them things to stay alive with something with a goat head. That in the credit run, we saw Madison with a goat with a name tag of Jake.
It was Madison all along.
And I'm just here. We have sounded crazy in the past. We have sounded like big dum-dums. But I'm pretty convinced that Marvel just said, hello, StreamerSZN. Hello, new rock stars. Mephisto is here.
He's here, dude. He's not. Well, he was always here in Kyle's brain, to be fair.
Right here.
Yes, right in the frontal lobe.
Did you feel the same way, though? Like, they mentioned a demon, they mentioned a contract. Like, basically, she shows up with a heart that a lot of people online, Dylan, are speculating that could be Ghost Rider's heart.
Hog Rider.
I am fully convinced that Mephisto is here, and obviously today as we record this, it's Disney Plus Day, and D23 is happening this weekend, so we don't know what exactly is going to go down this weekend at all the upfronts and everything, but wouldn't it be sick if they finally announced the Werewolf by Night Halloween special, and that's where we get Mephisto?
That would be sick. I mean, that'd be kind of a fitting time to introduce the little hell demon, you know what I mean, devil, in terms of Halloween, spooky season, that would fit in along with having other characters like the werewolf.
Yeah, I'm a need that to come through ASAP.
Yeah, Kyle has been on this for a while, and he deserves to get this right.
Dude, this dates all the way back to WandaVision, all the way back.
It was Kyle all along.
I need Mephisto like I need oxygen to breathe, and Dylan and I have said all along we would love to see our boy Gary Oldman playing Mephisto.
That would be very sick. I would love that. I just did an accent there. I don't know why, but I said Gary Oldman. My brain was like, well, he does accents. But no, that'd be awesome. I love Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman.
Need Gary Oldman as Mephisto. The other takeaways I had from this, Donnie Blaze is totally a play on Johnny Blaze, but
yes,
how the fuck did he steal that sling ring and hold on to that if he got kicked out of Comertage after a week?
Well, we named your kid Donnie. I think there's bound for life of stealing things. Any Donnie I know, I don't know any in person. No, I know one Donnie in person. He fits that description. But secondly, any Donnie in fictitious media, I'm thinking about it right now, and they're all it's Italian. I don't know. It's just there's definitely a stereotype and a stigma to that name, but it's usually put this way: Donnie is not usually given to the superhero or the main protagonist. It's usually a side character in the show or someone who's not necessarily morally good or lawful good. So my point is, if you got the name Donnie, you just know how to do shit, bad shit, questionable shit.
Big facts.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, gabagool. He's watching. Wong's watching The Sopranos, and SheHulk goes on a bunch of dates too. A lot of people are speculating the one guy that she went on the date with, he's kind of a well-known actor, and to throw him into a throwaway role like that, a lot of people are like, that seems a little suspicious. So a lot of people are speculating on the interwebs that he could be the leader's brother from the Incredible Hulk movie. We saw the leader there, his brother in the comics. I'm blanking on what his name is. But I think the other fun part here is one, why does Jen leave her apartment unlocked for her dad to just walk in casually? And then two, her dad has to be some sort of former police or something because he was like way too on edge about her not calling the cops, and he had a shovel, and he's like, don't worry about it. And it's like, I think he knows where to hide a body.
I didn't think about that, dude. That completely... Holy shit, my mind just went... I also zoned out for a second on the football. Stafford got hurt, apparently. Anywho, no, I didn't even think about that. Kyle says things on this show that genuinely I don't think about because I'm thinking about something else, or like I just overlook it because I usually cram in the shows that we watch at work. So I'm not watching intently as like everyone hopefully is at home. Like I'm watching in a cubicle, like hiding it or going to the work bathroom to sneak like 15 minutes of it and then come back. So no, I didn't really.
I loved the over zealousness and the overuse of Wong in this episode too. We get the Book of Ashanti reference. We get another mirror dimension reference. We also saw Mount Wundagore during that fight battle scene with all the demons and everything, where they were throwing all the demons to that snow mountain area. That's what we saw in Multiverse of Madness. So very interesting that we're sending more demons to Mount Wundagore. What are they going to do to our Scarlet Witch mommy? Who knows? The other thing too is like when Donnie Blaze opens up that portal for that initial demon to come through, that place looked like hell.
Definitely did look demonic, and we can definitely. I would say it's also hell, yeah.
And the place that he sent Madison to as well kind of looked like a hellscape almost, which we did see some sort of like hellscape looking place in Multiverse of Madness when Doctor Strange and America Chavez are like spiraling through all of the multiverses. There was that one spot that was like a hellscape almost that they were kind of going through. I am just very intrigued as to how, things are going to play out. And obviously we still 4 episodes in now have not seen the blind crusader himself, Matt Murdock, Daredevil yet, which is kind of interesting. The other thing that I picked up on too, Dylan, when Jen and her friend are at the bar and they're doing all of their work and stuff, and that one guy that comes up to them and is like, hey, can I buy you 2 sexy ladies a drink? 1, creep. 2, he's got to be somebody's dad.
You think so?
He's like, that seems like too much of a weird throwaway line to then him just not show up again. I personally think he might be Frogman's dad, who is also going to be a character in this show.
Yeah, well, they keep saying all his characters are in there. We haven't seen Frogman. We haven't seen Daredevil. We haven't seen who else is supposed to be in there. We haven't seen yet. It's like 2 more people. So anyway, it's still an episode left. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess I could see that. I guess it makes sense because it's kind of a weird role to have someone just play. The show's kind of doing the sitcom thing well in terms of like, I could see if they wanted to, and if it's doing well, like in terms of numbers, they could just keep on going because there's unlimited scenarios in which they could like have like how all the superheroes and the dilemmas and the problems you can keep representing different people going forward.
I just had something pop in my head.
Well, go for it, bro.
This episode ends with, the trademark "I'm suing you" from Titania about SheHulk.
Yeah.
So that means SheHulk is going to have to go to court and be represented in some capacity.
Charlie Cox.
Matt Murdock might be the one representing Jen in court about this whole situation she's got going on here.
That'd be sick.
Which would be really fucking cool.
I'm Googling it to see if they changed his
I hope so, because they done lied to us.
In IMDb.
Also, I love the post-credit scene with Wong and Madison listing off their the drinks that Wong has had or not had, and then she wants to try yak milk.
Yak milk. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, shit. Do you think people also think that Donnie Blaze is like a hint at like Ghost Rider going forward too? Because like if there's anything demonic kind of type. So Charlie Cox is in 5 episodes now. How many episodes are left? 5, right?
5. So that means next week. Mark
Ruffalo is credited for being 3 of them. I mean, no, sorry, not 3 of them. 7 of them. 7. So
okay. So the rest of the season, he should be in as well.
Yes, sir.
Boom, boom, boom.
Doing some undercover research.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. That was my rendition of the Daredevil theme song.
I love that. Wong's also in 7 episodes.
So Wong should probably be in the rest of the
Wong and Banner are in 7. Obviously, their 2 main lead protagonists are in all 9. Tim Roth's in 7. Titania is in 7. And that's pretty much it for main characters. Abomination, Tim Roth's in 7. And then Holden Holloway's in 8 episodes.
Okay, and that's the boss at GLK&H for
sir.
Jennifer Walters. I thought this episode was sick. I think it introduced a lot of new aspects that I think you and I both were not really expecting, per se, to be part of She-Hulk, which is very fun. And, you know, with D23 being this week, you and I both said anything could fucking happen, you know, this weekend, that we could get announcements for. And, you know, with Mephisto, with Ghost Rider, I feel like, you know, that could be leading into more D23 announcements with Blade, on that supernatural side of things. But yeah, I agree that, you know, the Donnie Blaze thing is a tie-in to Ghost Rider, or a tease of Ghost Rider, because Ghost Rider gets his powers from Mephisto, from the Darkhold. Like, they're kind of conjoined at the hip almost. So if you're going to introduce Mephisto, Ghost Rider is not too far behind.
Well, yeah, that's why I brought them up, because they are one and the same. They are yin yang in terms of, like, so Kyle pretty much just answered it as well. That's why I'm excited, because I want to know who they're going to cast for either of those roles.
Also, Donnie Blaze, big influence, was clearly Chris Angel.
Marvel's version of Chris Angel confirmed.
Also, I don't know if we brought this up on the pod last week, after the post-credit scene from episode 3. If we did, I stand corrected. But did we talk about how in the post-credit scene with Megan Thee Stallion, she's signing on as a client for Jennifer Walters, who is running the Superhuman Law Division?
No, I don't. I don't think we mentioned that.
So clearly, if she's doing that, Megan Thee Stallion in the MCU has superpowers, right?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, clearly superpowers, body, yada 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 yada. But Megan Thee Stallion in the MCU, if you will, she's got to have superpowers if she's signing on with Jennifer Walters to be her lawyer, working at the Superhuman Law Division of GLK&H.
Yeah, you're not wrong, because why else would they represent her?
Or could Megan Thee Stallion be a Skrull?
Mm-hmm. That
Megan the Skrull.
Yes. That'd be kind of cool.
It would be sick. I thought of that this week, you know, when I was like, wait a second. She signed on as a client for Jennifer Walters, who is running the Superhuman Law Division. Also loved the Tinder dates, if you know, matcher is what they were calling it in the MCU. I loved all the dating stuff. And nobody's bringing fries home to go, Dylan. Let everybody know. Nobody's taking fries to go from any restaurant, which almost signifies, hey, maybe they're not eating the fries.
Dude, fries to go are gross, because we all know that when you take fries to go, it's just extremely fucking soggy.
Yes. Also, I loved Wong coming through, and I was like, I feel like your father. That was hilarious. And I thought this episode was super entertaining. Opened up a lot of fucking doors that I don't think we expected to get kicked open anytime soon. So that leads us to this, Dylan. What do you rank episode 4 of SheHulk, the Muscle Mommy? Where does it rank on the Cowabunga scale?
My best score yet for this show. 6.9.
Nice.
Thank you. Anyone listening at home, I hope you also said nice as I read that score. No, I liked it. It was better. I liked the fact that we got like crumbs towards Ghost Rider both Ghost Rider and Mephisto.
Andor doesn't premiere for another 2 weeks, Dylan.
Also, side note, apparently James Cook fumbled twice.
Nice.
Nice. Football fan will get it, but no, I liked it.
Yeah, I was a big fan of this episode. Mephisto is all but confirmed, but in my brain, he's confirmed for about the 12th time.
He's been confirmed in Kyle's brain ever since he
WandaVision. WandaVision. I'm going to give this episode a whopping 8.7. I thought it was fun. I thought it was very funny. And it full-blown. I love Madison's character. I love her interactions with Wong. I like the Donnie Blaze character being introduced. The demon fight was pretty sick. And overall, I thought it was just a really good episode. It was another good installment in the episode 4 of the MCU TV shows. And She-Hulk episode 4 now in the books. And next week, we better be playing that fucking Daredevil music, Dylan. That's all I'm saying. Okay,
Delco.
Let's move on to it's House of the Dragon, episode 3. Time to break it all down for the people. Big old time jump in this episode. Jumped about 2-3 years.
They are jumping around, and they're gonna jump.
Jump around.
They're gonna jump. Ooh, I think episode 5. They're jumping like 10 years as well.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So the plot.
I think I just broke something, Kyle. Keep going.
Ruh-roh. He just pulled a Nick Al-Kubel.
The steering wheel came off my desk. I'll just hold it like this. Okay.
So this episode of House of the Dragon is titled Second of His Name. The plot: 2 years on, Damon Targaryen and Corlys Velaryon's war in the Stepstones against the Triarchy forces, commanded by Craghass, a.k.a. Crab Feeder Drahar, is going badly, as Drahar's forces resorted to guerrilla tactics, raiding Velaryon fleets at night and retreating into deep caves whenever Damon launches attacks using his dragon Caraxes, who, whenever I see that dragon, Dylan, it reminds me of the guy from SpongeBob meme when he's holding the glass and his neck just reaches out. That's what it reminds me of when I see Damon's dragon. With supplies running out and the men on the verge of deserting, a messenger arrives with the word of reinforcements dispatched by King Viserys, who is still, in my book, a baby back bitch. Damon, who refuses to accept aid from his brother, feigns surrender to lure Crabfeeder's army out into the open, at which point Velaryon infantry led by Corlys and his younger brother Vaemond, played by Will Johnson, launch a counterattack. At the same time, Corlys' son Laenor, Theo Nate, cuts off the Triarchy's escape using his dragon, Sea Smoke. What a badass dragon name.
Sea Smoke!
Damon pursues Drahar into the caverns and kills him as the Velaryon forces claim victory. And then, meanwhile, in King's Landing, Rhaenyra remains estranged from Alicent, who is pregnant with Viserys' second child, having already given birth to a son, Aegon. After finding out on a hunting trip to celebrate Aegon's second name day that Viserys intended to marry her off to other noble lords, Rhaenyra believes Viserys intends to depose her in favor of her half-brother and angrily storms out of the camp with only her Kingsguard Sir Criston Cole following. Viserys dismisses Lord Jason Lannister's marriage suit, so we get the Lannisters back in the fold for all the Game of Thrones junkies. I'm sure Dylan, when he heard that, pulled the Leo DiCaprio meme and pointed out of his chair. Leo! Rhaenyra and his hand Sir Otto Hightower's proposal to betroth Rhaenyra to Aegon, but listens to his Master of Laws, Lord Lionel Strong's advice to marry Rhaenyra to Laenor Velaryon as a means of healing the rift between houses Targaryen and Velaryon. Otis Hightower is the biggest disgusting scumbag on the planet. He's the guy that would get raided by the FBI for just having disgusting stuff on his computer. The fact that he wanted to marry Rhaenyra to her half-brother, who is some lineage that my brain can't comprehend right now, like his grandson or something, is disgusting, especially since he's 2 years old. Like, get a grip, pal. I hope Otis Hightower gets absolutely Dracarys to fucking smithereens by a dragon by the end of this show.
He's definitely a snake, and I've told you that before. There are characters that are supposed to be like that. That's how the old Game of Thrones was. Like, there are characters that you see their ultimate end game is like power, but they're so snaky that you don't know what they're willing to do and where their allegiance truly lies, and that's kind of what Otto's character is. Meanwhile, like the other guy, I keep forgetting his name, but he's like the heavyset guy with like long, slick back hair, and he always says, "Do you want my opinion?" Like, yeah, he probably is snaky too, but at least the way they're portraying him and the way he talks and the way the king listens, you probably agree with this. It's showing that he is a little more truthful in terms of his intentions because he's just being honest. He's like, well, honestly, I think you should do this.
Yes.
Not Otto, who kind of like is like, yeah, you should do this, and he's like, no.
Yeah, he's officially on the sus list, which will come up with an official name, but he's on my radar of being just a total scumbag fraud, along with the king, along with his daughter. I am officially out on the Hightower family. I don't know how you feel about them, Dylan, but I'm out on the Hightowers as a whole.
Yeah, the daughter, she's like was innocent, but the further she goes in, it's not really her fault, but like the further she goes down this road, there's more implications. She's about to pop out another baby, not the first baby, another baby, because she's preggo AF in the episode. And it just makes you really just like other characters more. I'm glad I called it. The knight I liked, the side character, who is also now in the Kingsguard, he had moments to shine, and I further liked his relationship with our badass main character as well, Rhaenyra.
Yes, 100% agree.
She's who I stand. It's like her and Damon I like a lot, and I like the jousting guy, like the side character. Other than that, all the other characters, like you could say, could get Dracarys. Although I do like a couple of the newer characters that are being introduced.
Yeah, there's a few that are definitely catching my interest, if you will.
I like that guy who looks at her when she walks back bloody and is like, "That's my kind of woman." Whoever that guy is, I forget his name. That guy's, I support that, bro. He wasn't intimidated by it because everyone else was. We'll get to it in a second, but everyone else was like glaring at her like, "Ew," and he was just like, "Hell yeah."
Yeah, he was like, "Hell yeah, brother."
She knows how to hunt good.
So they go on the hunt, and while camping overnight in the wild, Rhaenyra and Criston are attacked by a wild boar. I said, "Oh my god, it's Pumbaa," which runs down Criston and almost bites Rhaenyra before being killed by the two of them. And Rhaenyra
she runs away and does the whole, "Daddy, I'm running away to the woods."
And then she lets all that built up tension and built up anger and aggression that she has for her father out on that boar, and absolutely slaughters that sumbitch. Rest in peace. And on the way back, Rhaenyra encounters the White Hart that Viserys unsuccessfully plans to hunt.
That was really cool foreshadowing.
Yes. But she lets the stag go, and returning triumphantly with her kill, Rhaenyra is reassured by her father that he has no intention to replace her as heir, though he urges her to find an influential husband to gain more support for her claim to the Iron Throne. Privately, Otto insists that to Alicent that the nobles of the realm will expect Aegon to be king, regardless of Viserys' views regarding Rhaenyra. And the king, he kills the non-white stag, which is kind of just looming more bad luck. And we see now he's missing 2 fingies. He's only got 3 fingies on that one hand.
Not only does he kill it, it's an execution. It's not a hunt. The thing is cornered. The thing is tied, and he doesn't even kill it on the first stab. He has to stab it more than once. That's just. Meanwhile, his daughter sees the truly beautiful. Not the other deer was nice, but like the white one was awesome looking, right? Like it was majestic. We all agree. It looked majestic AF, just chilling in the woods, and it organically happened. She saw it, chose not to kill it because she respected the beauty and the symbol in which it represented, and then her and Sir Kristen let it walk away, and that just further shows. First, with the cutting himself in the chair and losing appendages left and right, and then now with the deer, the stag, it's just further showing that the king is not suited or fit to rule, whereas other people in his bloodline may in fact be more applicable for the kingdom, like for the role of king or queen.
Absolutely agree. The king is still a baby bag bitch.
I want to clarify. I agree, but I think he's just a nicer person than most people on the show.
He's just a pushover.
But by default, that makes you a bad king,
right?
In a time where you have to lead with an iron fist
and an iron throne, if you will.
That's what you get me, you.
Then we get Damon pulling up to the beach, waving the white flag.
How hard were you when this scene transpired? Because I was on my couch.
Man, that was the best part of this episode, in my opinion. Like, there were good parts throughout, but then that whole montage was just so fucking cool. And he puts the white flag out. Crabman sees everything going down, walks out, has his arrow people ready to roll, and then Damon just says, "Fuck all of you. I'm here to kick ass and take names," and he takes all of their names. And then we get Homeboy coming down, flying out, and I laughed so hard when I heard Clem from Barstool. He does great stuff over with Robbie Fox and KFC for My Mom's Basement coverage of House of the Dragon. Clem said it reminded him of Jonah Hill in This Is the End, when his character's just like, you're dead, bang, bang, you're dead. When the young kid says, Dracarys. Bang, bang, Dracarys, you're dead.
Dracarys.
Also, to any of the people who were just getting mutilated by those crabs, how, soft do you have to be to just get absolutely murdered by crabs?
I guess if you're on death's door already, it's kind of hard to avoid being eaten by crabs. But I do agree it's kind of a silly way to go down. But that whole scene was just badass. I do wish that the crab guy might have lived a little longer. Because we
got chopped up. They won't let him out.
He was dragged out.
He gonna die at sea.
No, it was a very good action sequence. It almost made you question if they were gonna kill off Damien because the nature of the show. Like I told Kyle never to love a character 100% because it will bite you.
Yeah, I still have allegiances to about 4 characters from the initial episode, which we'll get into.
My allegiances are tied.
And I don't know if you saw this, Dylan, but they did confirm that the crab feeder is wearing a Sons of the Harpy mask, which I believe is from season 5 of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And he also had Grayscale. That was via Entertainment Weekly. And then a common question out there that people are asking is, would Damon Targaryen get Grayscale? Which I don't know what that means.
Oh,
I think you know what that means.
It's like a skin disease. It's like spread by touch.
Okay.
And it basically turns your skin to like stone. Matt Stafford just threw a touchdown. Thank God.
So yeah, that's an interesting proposition. Do you
That's
think?
a good point. I didn't even think about that. Fuck, I didn't think about that.
Do you think he could acquire said grayscale?
Yeah, because it's acquired by touch. And in the other show, in Game of Thrones, they have to take it off via burning, and they literally have to like cut that skin off.
And his face was slashed up.
But if they catch it early enough, Damon might be able to do what they did in the other show and like just hack off a slice of skin and be good to go.
So obviously I haven't seen Game of Thrones for the people that know. But Dylan, without spoiling too much, can you explain to the people at home who may be like me what the Sons of the Harpy are?
Yeah, the Sons of the Harpy are fucking assholes. No. I don't know what more you want me. No, yeah, there were a resistance group. They so there was a kingdom that was led by a group of elites, and there was a bunch of slave labor. And then Daenerys, Emilia Clarke, was like, "No, I am the breaker of chains." I think that's what she says, etc., etc. And then, it's not too much of a spoiler. She obviously tries to liberate the city, and she does well. And then the people rebel, like the elites, and they disguise themselves with these masks, and then they go around like killing like slaves and other people to protest like slavery being outlawed in their city. So basically, they're like a rebellion group, but like not the good kind. They're like a rebellion group of like shitty people. What are you laughing?
I just found I'm going through for our Dragon Scrolls, which will be tweets of the week this week. And I saw one of the funniest fucking tweets from this episode.
Well, we're getting there. But yeah, Sons of Harpy, not good people.
Yeah, so they stink. That's what Crab Feeder is allegedly wearing. It is confirmed that that's the mask he had on, and he has grayscale. So we'll see where that transpires. Damon is still my king. He's a badass. Rhaenyra, still my gal. Love her. And I'm still a fan of Corlys and his son. I think they're both pretty sick characters. I'm fans of them still. But everyone else, you're all on watch by me. I got my lenses on, keeping an eye on all yous.
All you people.
So let's get to the Dragon Scrolls, Dylan. This week it'll be hilarious tweets of the week from the people at home. This one is just absolute gold. We actually just talked about this meme when we were talking about Damon's dragon. It is the fish from SpongeBob with his neck all the way out holding the drink in his hand. And this is from @BridgerStan on Twitter. We will tag everybody in these tweets. And it said, okay. Damon read that letter when he was handed the letter about the reinforcements and everything. I can't wait to see your face when I read this. Damon read that letter and said, insert fish from SpongeBob gif here. And then on the meme it says, I'm pussy.
I love those memes.
That's why I was laughing so hard, because I scrolled and I saw that. I'm absolutely gagging. There's another tweet here from Pursuant Priest on the Twitter machine, and they said, turns out it runs in the family, and it has the king making his little like smirk face, and then there's a character, I guess from Game of Thrones, one of those famous memes where she's kind of just got her scrunched up like face. I'll DM this to you from the underground account on Twitter so you can see this one. That one is sent to you. We got good tweet here. We talked about finding the white stag and everything with Rhaenyra, and somebody tweeted. This is from at OOCHOTD.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That face, yep, okay. That's a meme in itself.
Okay, I get the Twitter handle here now. It's Out of Context House of the Dragon on Twitter. It said the True Queen, and it just shows Rhaenyra and the white stag together. I'm also going to send you the other one so you can laugh at the meme itself.
Go for gold.
And then there was a couple more here that are pretty hilarious.
I'm pussy one.
Oh, we have one here. This is from Dominique Renee on Twitter.
I'm sending Tyler this one. That's how good it is.
Viserys. By the way, Damon, I'm sending help so you can kill the crab feeder. Damon. Michael Jordan, the Last Dance meme. And I took that personally. That's a good one. Let's see here. Oh, here's one. This is a Game of Thrones crossover meme. Looks like Jon Snow's character talking to some old man. It said,
Jon fucking Snow.
Why do they use ravens to send messages to Master Aemon is the question here. And then the old man says, my ancestor Damon Targaryen once beat the britches off of a messenger.
Dude! That guy got his shit kicked in.
Facts.
Do you think they drew straws before they went out to him and were like, oh, Tony's got to do it?
They, somebody said, Damon, we understand, bro.
I have to teach you this lesson, old man.
This is from at HOTD Source. It says, Damon, we understand, bro. And it's with Damon reading the scroll, which is going to be an all-time meme, by the way. That is going to go down into the meme files forever. And then it's a picture of Otto Hightower, and then it's just Damon ready to wail on the guy.
Dude, I love this episode. This is the best episode yet, in my opinion, just for several scenes carried it above. Dude, so good. So good.
Last one here for our Dragon Scrolls. This one's also from Out of Context House of the Dragon. The caption is, gagged her. And it says, we've been dragged into it by your uncle and the sea snake. And how have you served the realm of Lady Redwine? By eating cake?
You see, dude,
gagged.
I saw a bunch of memes of the lady with the pug.
Yes.
I was like, that poor guy that was like born with I guess a walking disability. He was just sitting there like peacefully, just minding his own business the entire time.
Oh, this one's very funny because I know the ending of Game of Thrones. This is from at ASOIAFSP on Twitter. It's in Spanish, I believe. Yeah.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
So it says, Los mejor que verás hoy, which is the best you'll see today. And it's Damon reading the scroll. And basically, I'm pretty sure this translates to, in 200 years, you'll see Bran Stark sitting on the Iron Throne. And then it's Damon wailing on the guy.
It's so true. Because the show ends so shitty. I've seen memes where it's just like, these characters are all gonna die only for Bran to sit on the fucking throne. I'm just like, damn,
I'm gonna send this one to you so you can see this one too. Because this one's fucking great. So shout out to all the hilarious tweeters out there. We will be tagging.
Go down in the vault.
We'll be tagging everybody in the episode to make sure that you know we read your tweets. But submit your questions, theories, thoughts on every House of the Dragon episode, and Dylan and I will be reading them each and every week on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
And without any further ado, Dylan, that brings us to everybody's favorite segment on this show. It is the streaming platform Multiverse News and Notes, brought to you by the homies over at Pickup. You guys can go to playpickup.com, start playing the hottest headlines in sports, rack up points on your fan profiles, cash them in for prizes on the Pickup marketplace. That is playpickup.com. Dylan, we got some fun stuff here. The biggest news of the day, obviously D23 is happening this week, and we'll also finish up this episode by giving our best bet predictions for D23 announcements on Saturday. But Star Wars The Acolyte is a show coming out in the very near future next year. And we have Lee Jung-jae being cast as the male lead in The Acolyte, joining Amanda Stenberg and Jodie Smith-Turner. For those of you who may not know who Lee Jung-jae is, he is the lead character from Squid Game. I am so excited that he is joining a Star Wars show that you and I are both super excited about, because this happens, I think, like 200 years before The Phantom Menace. So, like, it's way before all the Skywalker stuff. And from everything you saw from Squid Game and from what I saw from Squid Game, I love him as an actor. And I think he's going to do a fantastic job in this role.
Yeah, in Squid Games, he does an incredible job at feeling like, or making you feel like, you know, like nervous and uneasy, and he does a great job of portraying that. So my point is, like, if he needs any kind of emotion, like, he's got it, and it would just be cool to see him in a different kind of role. And also, I'm assuming Acolyte's in English, right? So we're going to see him speak English?
Yeah.
Which is also interesting, because in the movie, he speaks Korean.
Correct.
So...
That's super exciting. I'm pumped. This has me 10 times more excited for The Acolyte now than I already was.
I wonder if that would be... It probably is. I wonder if that would be his first, like, English or American-made film. Like, his first, you know what I mean? It's coming to America, so to speak, in terms of, like, the Hollywood. I'm
so excited now for The Acolyte. Like, this might be my most... Outside of Mando Season 3, because obviously you guys know we love The Mandalorian, The Acolyte might be like 1A for me in terms of excitement of new Star Wars shows.
Yeah, Kyle is extremely excited for him.
Dylan, I have a Rotten Tomatoes prediction for you. We have a ratings comparison for SheHulk, House of the Dragon, and The Rings of Power from recent Rotten Tomatoes scores. Can you guess the order and the scores for each of the three shows?
So I'm guessing the scores for...
I think it's just the shows overall so far throughout their release.
So for House of the Dragon, I'll say 9. No, I'll do like 8.7.
So that would be an 87% on the tomato scale.
Yeah. For She-Hulk, I'll say like 84%. And then what was the other one?
The Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings series on Amazon.
I actually watched an episode of that. I'll say that one's 80%. That seems like it's mixed.
So you got two of the percentages correct, just not for the shows they fall under.
Gosh, damn it!
The Rings of Power clocks in at 84%. House of the Dragon clocks in at 85%, and She-Hulk leading the pack at 87%.
Oh, wow. All pretty good scores. Rings of Power, by the way, as someone who is a token Lord of the Rings fan, I am very mixed on it, and I definitely have to watch the second episode because I don't know how I feel about it.
That's what a lot of people have said, and if they've watched it, they've said they've had to watch it like multiple times to conceptualize everything.
It's very slow.
That's what I heard. We did get the first trailer for Rian Johnson's Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, releasing December 23rd on Netflix. I'm super excited for this. This cast is bonkos. It is the sequel, if you will, to the first Knives Out movie, which we got to get Dylan to watch before Christmas because one, this movie's right up your alley. Like, this is your style of movie for sure. And this cast is just ridiculous. And I'm super excited for it. But we got our first trailer for that. We have House of the Dragon viewership for episode 3, Dylan. It brought in over 16 million viewers.
16 million
viewers. That might be the thumbnail. That just goes to show you that everyone who claimed they were not going to watch that show because they thought how Game of Thrones was dead, they were wrong. Hand up. Are we admitting something here, Dylan?
No. Clown. Insert clown emoji.
He's a clown. I'm a clown. Kim Kardashian allegedly wants to join the MCU. She said that would be so fun via Interview Magazine. Quote, I'm not actively looking, but I think things just come when they're supposed to. I don't know where Kim Kardashian would fit in the MCU. If she does show up...
She stars in one movie and thinks she can act.
If she does show up in the MCU, I want it to just be as herself. Like, I want it to be one of those type of cameos.
If you know, you know. I wasn't referring to an actual film.
Oh! House of the Dragon, though, off to a hot start, Dylan. Episode 1, The Heir of the Dragon, debuted at an 8.8 on the IMDb scale. The Rogue Prince, Episode 2, an 8.5. And then Second of His Name, the most recent episode, a 9.0.
That's pretty fair, honestly. That episode's pretty fire.
Oh, I also, we didn't give our ratings for Episode 3, so if we want to do that real quick.
Oh, I would give it an 8.6.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one my first score in the 8s, Dylan. First score in the 8s. It's an 8.4 for me.
So it's like an 8.5, then we average it together. That's a great score.
We mentioned, The Acolyte. We do have Jodie Turner-Smith joining the cast for The Acolyte, starring alongside our man from Squid Game as well. The series follows the dark side emerging roughly 100 years before the Phantom Menace, so it's 100 years. Also, we got a side-by-side, Dylan, of the Targaryens loving a good solo run with the famous, drawing the sword and all the horsemen coming towards Homeboy in Game of Thrones, and then we got Damon waving the white flag ready to fucking go blitzkrieg on those mofos. We mentioned the Harpy Mask, obviously, earlier in the program. Unfortunately, Dylan, for Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter game, Quidditch won't be playable. That's a bummer. That's a bummer.
I quit, Carl.
Do you want to feel old, Dylan? Batman the Animated Series premiered 30 years ago this week.
Holy shit.
Also, did you see the 6-minute standing ovation that our guy Brendan Fraser got during the premiere of The Whale trailer at the Venice Film Festival?
Yeah, it's 6-minute ovation, right?
Yeah, so well deserved. Like, the shit that Brendan Fraser has had to go through over the years. Like, I don't know if you know this, Dylan. When he got divorced from his ex-wife, he's been paying $50,000 in alimony per month.
Holy crap! That's
and
a
like
lot of mucho dinero.
Everybody knows that Brendan Fraser obviously hasn't been acting that entire time either, and he obviously came forward about how
feature films either.
Yeah, and like he came forward about how he was, sexually harassed and sexually assaulted by somebody in Hollywood, and feels like him coming out about that blackballed him because he did go from like starring in The Mummy and all of those movies back when he was, you know, the guy, and then just disappeared.
The Mummy, he had George of the Jungle, he had there's like a love movie, I think, with some famous actress he was also in. He was in quite a few things. My point is, he had very much a budding career going for him, and then it kind of just abruptly stopped.
Yeah, he had all the Mummy movies, Journey to the Center of the Earth in 2008.
Looney Tunes in action.
Was supposed to have Batgirl. You know, and then he just kind of like fell off the face of the earth. And a lot of people think now, you know, since he came forward about everything that happened to him, he might have gotten blackballed by Hollywood. But now he's back, and like, I couldn't be happier. He deserves it. He was obviously in that No Sudden Move movie, which I think is something you and I need to watch as well. That cast was absolutely loaded. And he's going to be in The Whale, which a lot of people are saying could be, you know, an Academy Award winning film, which is pretty wild to just see the instant, you know, rise back to the top for Brendan Fraser, who so well deserving. He's such a good actor, and I'm excited that he's, you know, back in the spotlight.
Dude, he's very well deserved. I some people that already saw the film, like at the preview, they were saying that they wouldn't be surprised if he even won an award himself. That's how good of a performance he gave, and that's just testament to how driven he is of a man and an actor, and it's very well deserved. It's cool to see the good guys win. You know, if that actress from Glee can get her own like show, or I think she's on Broadway now. I don't know. I don't follow her. Apparently, she was a real asshole. My point is, so if people like that can stay in Hollywood, it's nice to see one of the good guys or good girls, but good guy in this case, get back on track. You know.
Yes. I do have to... I think we should end the show with this because it has been the most drama-filled topic in Hollywood space.
Talk about it. Talk about it, Kyle. I don't know why I did that. You know,
let's talk about hashtag Spitgate with Harry Styles, Chris Pine, Olivia Wilde. This movie... You just had
to fucking do it, huh? We went a whole 1 hour and 59 seconds without bringing that up.
This movie's gonna be a shit show, right? Are you on the same page as me that like this movie's gonna tank?
It's gonna be a shit show because he probably can't act. Florence Pugh could act, and also, you know, on one hand, I'm like, yo, Harry Styles, you're showing your true colors, which is ironic because it's a song that people cover all the time. On the other hand, I'm like, yo, congrats, because you are so dedicated to the role of being a himbo. Like, you are proving you offer nothing else but good looks in life. And he's very dedicated to that. He's just really trying to prove that all he can do is sing and be attractive. So good for you, Harry.
Chris Pine then comes out and like makes a statement saying that he did not get spit on, and then Harry obviously has his residency at Madison Square Garden and said, I just got back from Venice where I took a quick trip over to spit on Chris Pine, but we're back. Obviously playing into the headlines and everything, but just a wild scene. Obviously, Florence Pugh not doing any other media for this movie, which we mentioned a couple weeks ago. But don't worry, darling. You should be worrying because I think this movie is going to absolutely bomb. And that's what it's going to be known for. And I'm sure at some point we're going to get a movie about the making of Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah, probably.
So that's where that stands now. That's all we got for you guys this week. D23 is this week. Dylan, I want to wrap up here. Give me your top 3 hopes/predictions for what we will see at the panel on Saturday for Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, or anything in between from D23 this weekend for the 100th anniversary of D23.
So I honestly hope we get more Star Wars content because that's been kind of lacking, and I've been hit or miss on Marvel. As for what, I just hope not hope. Usually what they do is they kind of reiterate and double down and show you more of shows they've already released. So it'd be cool to see maybe like more Andor stuff. I wouldn't mind more Acolyte stuff. For Marvel, I'm intrigued with some of the future TV show projects, so I would like to see that. Maybe a new movie release, or like officially confirm certain things, and maybe like a trailer for the new Marvel Zombies. In terms of Disney itself, I just really use it for Star Wars and Marvel, so I can't really, you know what I mean? I don't watch many other films, so I don't really know what to speculate. I'm assuming Pixar definitely has something up their sleeve, especially with how poorly. No, I didn't see it, but like critic wise, I know Lightyear had mixed reviews. So,
Yeah,
maybe a new Pixar film.
My hope from Star Wars is that we finally get the digital release of The Mandalorian Season 3 trailer, since that was only showed at Comic-Con. I hope we get that. I hope we get more casting news on Ahsoka, or some sort of, first look at Ahsoka. Maybe a release date for the Bad Batch Season 2. That would be nice. And then, for the Marvel side of things, I think we're going to get confirmation that Deadpool 3 is like happening. Even though that everybody knows it's happening, I think they'll finally confirm that. And then hopefully we get stuff on Blade. I think we're going to get another Wakanda Forever trailer. Maybe more on Wonder Man, since we've started getting a lot of news about that recently.
That'd be sick.
And I think we might, if we're lucky, because you know how you and I, Dylan, we like to look at Funko, not a sponsor, for teasing and potential for new news. New York Comic Con is coming up, and they did recently just release the exclusive Funko Pops that will be available via New York Comic Con, and one of them was a Nick Fury Secret Invasion Funko Pop. So something tells me we might get our first look at Secret Invasion during D23 as well.
That'd be sick too. I didn't even think about that.
So that's what I'm hoping we get. Follow along. We're going to be tweeting up a storm about D23 this weekend. So that's why you got to follow us at StreamerSZN on Twitter, Instagram. Follow Dylan on Twitter at Dylan Mazzola. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Also, I hope we get an update on Armor Wars. Give us a date, at least. Give us a spot on the timeline where that's going to happen, since we didn't get that at Comic-Con. And I think we'll get Werewolf by Night, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, stuff like that. I think they've just been waiting for it to be a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Since both of those things are kind of just one-off type specials and not exactly a series. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And Dylan,
leave the reviews.
Let us know what you should be watching in the podcast reviews, and do the same thing on YouTube.
You can, yep. Kyle and I are same wavelength. Finish other sentences almost. Shout
out Frozen. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Smash that like button. Ring the bell icon. Subscribe. And in the comment section, give us your predictions for D23, your thoughts on She-Hulk, House of the Dragon. If you're watching the Rings of Power, shows you're currently watching that we should be putting on our lists, because it is that full-fledged busy season right now. Obviously, Dylan's watching Lord of the Rings, House of the Dragon, She-Hulk. This is the heaviest plate we've had in quite some time, and in just 2 weeks, we'll have Andor as well. So this is the...
Too many shows.
This is the biggest plate of content we've had in this show's history, I would say, in terms of just, the amount of shows we're talking about in a given week. So support us, help us, and have our backs, and let us know if there's things you pick up on in any of the shows that we're watching while you're watching them. And, of course, for House of the Dragon, submit your Dragon Scrolls, your listener-submitted questions, thoughts, theories, concerns, all that good stuff. I did tweet, because I didn't watch House of the Dragon, Dylan, this week until Wednesday, and I did tweet that I've been very impressed with myself for avoiding spoilers.
Yeah, good
and,
for you.
Mikey said that it's not like there's anything really to avoid spoiling. Well, for me, there is. So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Shout out to our sponsors, Tomahawk Shades, Pickup, Kenwood Beer, and Bino Board. All of their info and our links and codes are linked in the show notes on audio and in the description on YouTube. This has been another episode of StreamerSZN, the exclusive TV and movie podcast for streaming platforms on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. Dylan's TV screen is black because I think he lost power or his TV show got canceled.
Back?
Yeah, you're back. You got renewed for season 2. But we're getting the heck out of here for this week because we're gonna go find a muscle mommy to go ride on a dragon. And until then, keep on streaming.